Let's talk about yoga mats and fast food because, yeah, there's a chemical that is in yoga mats that, of course, is in your fast food. You thought it was all pink slime, but no, it's even worse.
Did they put somehow managed to put farts in yoga mats?
Oh, patience, Jimmy. You'll see in just a moment. It's called azodicarbonamide. I think I got that close to correct. We'll give the correct pronunciation down below. And it is in a ton of fast food. Subway announced last week they're not going to use it in their bread anymore. That's for the 6-inch or the footlong, but we've got a list of other companies that are using it. This includes McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Burger King, Dunkin' Donuts, Wendy's, Arby's, Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr., Hardee's, and White Castle. Basically, the reason Subway is dropping it is because there was an online petition which garnered about 80,000 signatures. This substance is already banned in Europe.
Really?
Yes. The Center for Science and Public Interest want it banned completely here in the United States, but of course that isn't happening, and we're so far leaving it up to these companies. All of those still have it. Subway's getting rid of it. Should this just not surprise us? Every time we do these stories on pink slime, and literally, the reason they use it is because it makes the bread more elastic and spongier, like a yoga mat. Yeah. So it's literally...
You could downward dog right onto your sandwich.
Yeah. Yeah. What is going on in this country with this kind of stuff?
We're used to it. I mean, I have friends that come here from other countries, get super fat in like 2 weeks and like slow down, turn gray, and we're just used to it. We don't know what the problem is. We don't know what their problem is. I haven't eaten that shit in a while, and I had like some McDonald's, and I honestly couldn't eat the bread because of the sponge factor. It freaked me out, and now I know why.
Yeah, because it literally is a sponge.
It's literally a sponge, and if you're into it, fuck it. We've been eating this stuff since we were kids. I'm sure it's all, you know, it's in who we are. It's bound to our DNA. It's not going to matter at this point. But if it grosses you out, but for the love of God, stop eating it.
What does this chemical actually do? Does it to your body? Does it cause cancer or maybe a heart problem? Maybe memory loss, Dave?
Well, Jimmy, good question, because some researchers think it causes cancer.
Whoa.
So yeah, this is
go.
the stuff we're putting in our body. And I think you're right. We've just done this stuff for so long that you see the pink slime video and you're like, ah. You find out yoga mats are in your buns and you go, ah.
And that's the thing, like you're eating this shit and it's all made of plastic and you're eating it, you're consuming it, you're putting it in your stomach. You can't even breathe. It's probably blurring your vision. It's making you fat. It's making you obese, and you're like, oh, CVS doesn't have cigarettes. Okay. Like none of this shit, like what does it matter? I'm feeling sort of nihilistic, but what does any of this shit matter? Because we're not going to stop eating it anyway.
You're going down a dark hole there.
Why
does anything matter?
It's deep fried like Pop Tops from milk jugs. We'll eat anything as long as you stick it in a fryer.
But Jimmy, isn't it our right as Americans to eat crap and suffer the consequences later? Or as that commercial with, what's his name, the plumber, the cable guy, I eat corn dogs all day long and then I take a Pepsi. Like, isn't that our right as Americans to be fat fucks who are unhealthy and eating eating plastic? And isn't that what America's all about?
You know, as Chris Christie said, mistakes were made. Anyway, yes, it is our right. We eat. It's funny you talked about how that chemical is already banned in Europe. There's lots of stuff that's already banned in Europe, but it's because the corporations have much more control of the government in America than they do in Europe that we have to eat Frankenfood, as one judge called chicken McNuggets, right? Yeah. Half of it's foam fucking mats, and the other half is chicken knuckles. You know, I mean.
Well, did you guys see? There's a video on YouTube now where McDonald's in Canada did a thing, about a 3-minute video. We'll link to it here, where they said people think we use pink slime, but we don't. And then they show you the actual process. And I assure you, the process ain't pretty either. Yeah. It's just gray. Yeah. It's not pink, it's gray. So disgusting. That's better. Yeah.
And like you said, do we have the right to be fat fucks? Totally. But I think we also have the right to know what's causing us to be fat fucks. Yeah. If it's just, you know, high cholesterol, good old-fashioned butter and lard, hey, knock yourself out. But if we're eating yoga mats, we should have the right to know that we're eating yoga mats.
Okay, so
if we don't have the right to be fat fucks in America, there's a lot of people at risk of being arrested right now. That's all I'm saying. We're going to have mass incarceration, and I mean mass.
Mass. We're going to underline the mass. All right, so last thought on this. Joking aside, though, is the real issue here that we are just so separated from our food? Like, people used to have land and grow their food. And, you want some vegetables? Well, go pick them. You want some herbs? Go pick them. And now our food is so separate from us, we don't know what the hell is going on. Is there any way to reverse that process?
You know, for instance, when I'm a big Italian food person. And so I used to date this girl who had family there, and when we go visit, they would like you visit their family. They go, oh, they go kill a chicken. We come in, they get so yes, it was right there. So you were connected to the food. You were connected. Now it comes in.
Did that make you crazy? Were you like, oh God, I can't look?
No, I thought it was great. I was like, oh, isn't that neat? Look at that.
And it actually tastes better too.
Of course it does.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will say, like, I'm sorry, I can't eat anything with bones in it. I'm like, what did you just say? Like, they're eating all this crazy bullshit, but they don't want, you're absolutely right, they don't want to be connected to it, they don't want any part of it, and they're very happy to be like that.
And speaking of bones, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're allowed to put in a certain percentage of bone in McDonald's beef. So yeah, you're not getting away from the bones that easy.